Hello and welcome to Archery in Paris, a watch-along party with me, Greg White, and my distinguished panel of guests, as today is the final day of Archery in Paris, and it's the men's individual matches. Welcome to the broadcast. If you're new to this, you're joining us on YouTube. Well, we're going to be watching a feed from Paris, and we hope you'll join us as well. Make sure you check your local listings to find out where your archery feed is going to be. Let's welcome our panel. In lower left-hand part of your screen is Justin Hewish, two-time Olympic gold medalist. Justin, good morning. How are you? How excited are you for today?
Good morning, Greg. Glad to be here. Definitely excited. This is the one event in the Olympics that I look most forward to. And, last night I felt like I was getting ready to compete, and anticipation for this morning, I was kind of anxious and tossing and turning and kept looking at my phone, make sure I didn't sleep in through my alarm. And I really wanted to check the scores, but I knew better as if I did that, I'd end up being, up all night long. So I had to wait till this morning to see, how everyone did. And, there wasn't really too many upsets. So it's we're looking for a great morning of archery here.
What an incredibly strong field of archers we have coming up. We'll talk about that in a second. Just above Justin, Lucy O'Sullivan. Lucy, where are you in the world right now? What's going on? That's quite the backdrop you got.
So I'm currently my day trip to France from my little island of Jersey ended up as a overnight stay because the boat got delayed and cancelled, and I'm currently in an Ibis in Granville, and they very kindly give me the remote control to watch the tir à l'arc here today.
Outstanding. This should be an exciting match, though. Men's individual, our last day together and the final day for archery in these games. How excited are you for the competition?
I'm so excited. And yesterday, I was chatting about a French person winning a medal on home soil. We've got another good French archer today, so I think that really adds excitement to these games, these French games.
It certainly does. And on top is Crispin Duenas, joining us from Canada, four-time Olympian, and we'll be plotting our arrows today. Well, this is your jam right here, Crispin, obviously. Men's individual. What are you thinking about today and your level of excitement?
I'm really excited to see the level of shooting that these guys have to show us, because in looking at the matches coming up to hear some scary scores, like I'm actually kind of glad I'm not competing against those guys, because that would just be putting me to shame by so many levels. So it's going to be an exciting one. Like Lucy said, there is a chance for another French medal on home soil. We've got 3 Koreans coming up, which was, I think, kind of expected. So this is just going to be a great, great watch party.
And of course, our guy, Bernardo Oliveira, who brings us all of the statistics and great insight, an Olympian as well. Man, this is it for us, pal. All right. You and I have been tight since what? Elementary school and gym class. So I think here we go. It's a big day for archery. Now, I do want to say that we have an unbelievable field as we're down to the final 8, but the number 1 in the world didn't quite make it to this point, did he?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm in Lausanne, Switzerland, so the same time zone as Paris, so waking up a little bit earlier to follow all the action in the first session wasn't too hard for me, and I did follow all of that. And I totally agree with Crispin, like some scary scores, especially by the Koreans. So they are looking good for a complete sweep of all the gold medals. But we'll see. We have to take it one match at a time. Kim Woo-jin against my teammate Marcos D'Almeida was ridiculously high level by Kim Woo-jin, but just like his teammate Liu Sok, Marcos D'Almeida, he ended up dropping too many points. I think the performance he had was a little bit underwhelming for his standards. I'm sure he's feeling really upset. But what I saw he told the Brazilian media was like, well, I lost to the Simone Biles of archery. And what else can you say about that? Like Kim Woo-jin is really one of the greatest of all times. Justin alluded to that in one of the other watch parties we had. And now game on. Let's see whether Kim Woo-jin can capitalize and convert that into gold.
And in addition, as time wears on and we know that where they're shooting in Paris, that the wind kind of picks up as the day gets going. But the temperature and the conditions look phenomenal right now. If if you like Fahrenheit, it's 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 22 degrees C, and it's probably the coolest day that we've seen that these archers have. But on the biggest story front, I think obviously the dominant story has been the fact that Korea has grabbed all the medals on the very top step of the podium. It's been gold across the board in team competition, in mixed team competition, both for the men and women in the team competition, and now in the women's individual. So the question is, can they sweep the gold? A lot of people thought yesterday in the women's that they were going to sweep the podium, but a little French archer decided that enough's enough. I'm going to win a bronze in my home country. Lucy, I know that you kept your eye on that. So what are your thoughts about that situation yesterday with the women's individual match bronze?
I got to spend so much time with Lisa last year coming back from Mexico. So the French archers got the same flight as the British archers, and then we split off in one of the airports. And her and I were just speaking franglais the whole time, and I know we were definitely supposed to be asleep. And she was telling me about her town and where she's from, and she's just such a delight. And I'm so proud of her. And to do it on home soil, I've seen all the pictures online. Is that been Sebastian Flute? He helped design the stadium. Is that the case?
Oh,
So yeah, to see the picture of them two together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really cool. So, and I think he medaled in the '92 Olympics. And obviously she's done it on home soil. So yeah, really, really proud of her. And it's, iconic that she did it on home Olympics.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's talk about these quarterfinal matches that we have coming up here beginning in a few minutes. So Lee Woo-suk is going to square off against Mauro Nespoli from Italy. And then we have Kim Woo-jin and Meta Gazoz going off against each other. Florian Unruh and Baptiste Addis, the Frenchman, 17 years old. Okay, so Justin, the youngest archer to make the final 8 on home soil. You have Brady Ellison going up against Kim Jae-do, and that's obviously an interesting matchup as well. But let's Justin talk about this German versus French battle, Unruh and Addis. 17 years old. How old were you when you won your gold medal, Justin?
I was 21 years old, so 17 that's really young. That's, Kim Ji-hyuk was like that in Tokyo, and it's just amazing when, 17 years old, I was barely even figuring out the sport. So for him to come out and do what he's doing on home soil is pretty impressive. Just looking at this quarterfinals, and there's so many stories going on here and so many different things that could happen that it's just amazing. I mean, Mete Gazoz, he could win back-to-back gold medals. How crazy would that be? And then you got Brady Ellison looking for that, gold medal, the last feather in his cap that he needs to, complete illustrious career. And then, of course, you have the 3 Koreans that are still in it of the final 8. And it's just I can't even wait for this to get going. And it's just hard to... The eye test shows me that the Koreans will probably be on top of the podium. The odds are, having 3 out of 8, that one of them are going to sneak through and win that gold. But just looking through history of the 45 gold medals that they've actually competed for in the games, they've won 31 of them. I was doing a little research last night. So that gives them like almost a 70% win rate on winning gold medals in history of them being at the games. Unfortunately for them, this one particular division has been very difficult for them. They've only been able to bring away 2 gold medals. So I think they're really looking to kind of change and get the odds back in their favor. So as much as I would like to see Brady bring a gold medal back home to the home soil, it's just hard for me to bet against those Koreans.
Well, Crispin, one of the things that I find so intriguing in this games is the fact that both on the women's individual side and the men's individual side, that Korea, the 3 Korean archers for each men and women, have not faced each other in elimination matches. Like, the bracketing for them has been perfect to set up the possibility of gold, silver, and bronze for one country. Have you ever seen anything like this in all the years that you've competed in the Olympics, or even in other brackets, world archery stuff?
Yeah, I have seen this before, and it's luckily if you can place yourself within certain rankings, you can have this like kind of perfect situation happen. On the flip side of it, if you do have two, like let's say for example Koreans going against each other in this specific round, you know that guaranteed a Korean will be going on to the semifinal. So I can see both sides of the coin at this point. But it is really interesting that the Koreans have not had to face each other in any matches before the semifinals. And I wouldn't say that they had planned that to happen, because it's really hard to plan how you're shooting and how to place yourself into a grid during the high level of shooting that happens at the Olympics, right? I've heard in the past that some people used to do that, but in this day and age, with the technology that we have, you would think that it would be easier, but I think the level of shooting is at a point where it's like you can't risk trying to seed yourself into this perfect position, because you could actually go too far out of that like positioning yourself, and then you would just go into like you might fall back into the same bracket that you're trying to avoid. So great for Korea that they've got themselves a really good chance of getting all three into the semis.
A comment right away. It's not fair to deal for Nesp, Gazoz, and Ellison going up against Koreans while the French archer has a bit of an easier game. I'm not sure that I would frame it that way. I think that perhaps some of these archers don't really care. I mean, I would think that knocking out one of the Koreans is probably one of those situations where they were going to build a lot of confidence. But I'm interested, Justin, reading the comment. Do you feel the same as Erica Bracamonte? Sorry, Erica, if I didn't name correctly, but do you feel that this is the situation, or it just feels like you'd want to go up against one of the best in the world and knock them out before you get to the gold medal match?
Nah, you just want to get to the gold medal match as easy as possible. For me, in '96, everyone else took out the Koreans. I didn't have to do that dirty work and was able to make it all the way through. So, I'd like to be Florian or Baptiste and not have to face him if I could.
Yeah,
I
and be
know it
cheering for
might be kind
Nespoli, be cheering for Gazos, be cheering for Ellison,
oh
to
yeah,
have them try to knock out the other Koreans for sure. I mean,
especially the way
listen,
that
yeah,
especially the way they've been shooting this morning. I mean, Kim Deok, he had like a couple little squirrely ends, but Kim Woo-jin and Lee Woo-suk, I mean, they were shooting nearly perfect. And, it's just that's going to be on the minds of Maro and Mete for sure, as much as they are, Maro and Mete, they were the gold medal match just 3 years ago in the Olympics. So you would think that they wouldn't have to worry about that. But the Korean reputation, there's something to be said for it.
yeah. So athletes coming out onto the field to play. Lee and Nespoli are going to take to the shooting line here in a moment as they get introduced. And this is going to be very interesting, because the one thing that we know about this men's individual competition is that the experience here, other than Addis, who is 17 years old, they know that if there is a bit of a bobble from anyone on the Korean side, that you've got to capitalize. But you can see the domination, 6-0, 6-0, 6-2 to get to this point for the Korean. And yeah, and looking at the scores this morning, I mean, even looking at Brady Ellison advancing, it was just nothing but 29s and 30s across the board. And that's just seems to be the standard right now, which is absolutely insane. Once again, we are shooting 70 meters downrange. That's 77 yards. If you're from the States, that's a little bit over 3/4 of an American football field. And Lucy yesterday ran it for us. I don't know if you heard Lucy. We dug out the video. You can thank our producer Adam for that one.
Stunning.
He dug the video out, yeah, of you running. So generally, if you're going to run 70 meters, folks, and you're not a runner, it's going to take you nearly 10 seconds, where the arrow flight is 1.2 seconds. So it's a long way down there. And I saw a comment yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting. that says 99.99% of people in the world could not hit a target at 70 meters with a bow. And I would tend to agree with that. It takes a little bit of something. It takes a lot of practice to work your way to 7. I don't think anybody shows up and just starts shooting 70 meters. I mean, you gotta start at 10, pop a couple balloons, make yourself feel good, and then walk back over time to the big distance. I know, Crispin, you're still shooting balloons,
I think I might be the only archer in the world who's done burpees for the full 70 meters. Actually, no, I know a couple other archers who have tried it, but it's not fun.
All right, so first arrows are going to fly, but we have our pop-in guest. Lisa Unruh is joining us right now. And Lisa, good to see you. Thanks so much for being on our watch party. How are you today, and how are you feeling about the matches ahead?
Hey guys, thank you for having me, and I'm absolutely excited. This will be a great match, I think.
Where are you right now in the world?
I'm at home. I'm in Berlin, and I'm cheering for Germany and for Florian today.
What do you think about the scores that you saw leading up to these final 8 and the level, the height of the scores that we saw?
Yeah, I think Kim Woo-jin is he's a goat. I don't have any words for him, so this was absolutely great. So yeah, I think maybe he has a chance to win this time.
Lisa, looking at the matchups that we have currently, we have Nispoli going up against Lee, and then we have Gazoz going up against Kim, and so on. What do you feel in this final 8 is the most critical match moving forward to the semifinals that you're keeping an eye on?
Yeah, of course, Florian and Addis Baptiste, because Addis has the crowd in his back, the whole crowd. So, and I think also Brady Ellison and no, Mete is shooting against Kim Woo-jin. Oh wow, yeah. So this will be a great match too. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost feels like that quarterfinal match could have been the gold medal match here at the games for sure between those two athletes, right? Well, how do you think Florian's going to react, with the crowd behind Baptiste Addis, and the cheering? Like, since you know him so well, how do you feel like he's going to be able to handle that pressure?
Yeah, he is a very quiet person. He's not that emotional, so I think he won't recognize. I think he will be in his bubble, and he tried to hold his focus, and I told him so he has to do it and nothing else.
Well, that's all that mattered. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the games. And right now, Italy has gone up 2 set points to 0 over Korea, with a 10 shot by Korea and a 9 shot by Italy. So we keep rolling on to see who's going to make it to the next level. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Lisa Unruh joining us. And wow, right off the bat, Nespoli gets on Korea, and this is the opportunity that you hope for. And a 10, so we're tied up after 2 arrows of the second set.
Do you know what? I think he's getting stronger and stronger throughout these games. Like Nespoli is kind of finding his love for it again. It's been really interesting to watch. These 10s that he's getting now. And in the mixed team as well. He's doing really, really well.
Yeah, and that was an important 10 that he just hit. It's a liner. Crispin, you're keeping score for us. Did you see that as a 10 as well?
Sorry, got to flip screens. I believe his last shot, was a 10. And I mean, like 29 versus 29 for this set. It's as an archer and as a set point, like I live in the set point system. When you get 29, you expect to get something out of it. But to only get 1 point out of a 29 is a little bit like semi-frustrating. It's even more frustrating when you get no points for a 29 because your opponent shot a 30. And that's just like, okay, guys, come on. Like, give me a break here. But it's good shooting, and yeah, Nespoli's catching the lines of just in, and Lee had one arrow that was just out. He was literally a millimeter away from a 30 for that set, but that's how it sits right now, and it's looks like it's going to be 3-1 in favor of Nespoli.
And a reminder, this is the quarterfinals, so the winner of this match advances to the semifinals. So that means that they're going to be guaranteed to shoot for a medal. That's what the pressure is right now. And the loser of this match goes to the sidelines for the rest of these games. So it's a 3-1 set advantage for Nespoli of Italy. And Lee starts off with a 9. So huge opportunity here for the Italian.
You guys find that this round is always way more stressful than the next round? I mean, obviously everyone wants to get to the gold medal match, but I find this round is so much more stressful because you're like, I could literally go home with nothing, or I could be in contention for three medals, different colors.
You think that's right, Justin? When you finally get through the quarterfinals, Justin, were you breathing a sigh of relief because you know you're just one step away from getting into a gold or a bronze match?
For me, my personal experience, each time I won a match, the pressure got increasingly harder and harder. I didn't feel a sense of relief at all. For me, coming into this last final days was a relief. Just making it past the first day, you felt a sense of accomplishment for sure, because you know, more than just Olympian, you made it to the finals, but it just doesn't get easier.
Well, Nespoli had a chance to go up 5-1. A little bit of a long hold, and it goes just left. And a little grin on the Korean's face, Lee. So now it looks like we're going to go 4-2. This is part of that momentum thing that we've seen from the Koreans at various times, where they might not have the strongest first end, but then it's all of a sudden, unless you get on top of them, right, Bernardo? Like, if you don't get on top of them and you leave the door open for them, it just seems like they're able to creep in and keep rolling.
Yeah, you can't let them be too comfortable, right? Like even if you lose a set or if you just lose by a single point, yeah, then just got to make sure that they know you're, just to use I also love motorsports, stay in their rear view mirrors, stay big in the rear view mirrors and just make them sure that you're there. And then now Mauro Nespoli, he can wrap this up in this set if he managed to shoot a 30, but it's a really high level. It's crazy.
Okay, someone in the comments predicting Meta Gazoz champion. We're going to see. That's what we're here for. Okay, good start for Lee. And this is the part of the match where the Koreans tend to turn it on and the competitors start to wobble. And there was the first. A 9 for the Italian. When that caught the 10 ring, it didn't look like he was happy with that shot. So when they fall like that, caught the 10 ring.
Needed that.
Yeah, but a 10 here is going to put this set points away, and we'll go 4-4. Got it. Wow.
Jeez.
29-30. You're losing on 29s.
Scores are just insane today.
I mean, all you can do is smile,
This
right?
This is what I'm saying. It's like when you're recurve archer and you shoot at 29, you generally feel good about it. But then when you shoot against a guy who shoots at 30, obviously that guy's going to be happier. But the unfortunate thing is that you can't. Well, not the unfortunate thing. The thing is that you cannot get like down on yourself for shooting at 29 and losing that set, because it's still good shooting, right? So Nespoli's just gotta like buckle down and just say like, hey, I'm shooting well. He's catching like just in the scoring thing here, he's catching all of the lines. Like I don't know how fat his arrows are, but they're doing the job and they're catching all of those 10 rings. So, like sometimes you got to train lots to get lucky, and this is where he's getting lucky. He's got I don't know how many 10.0s on the target right now, and here we sit 4-4.
Scoreboard 27-28. It's been the lowest end, of course, the first end out of the gate, which we normally see. Now it's just been nothing but high scores. Again, 70 meters downrange, 77 yards from where they're standing. So many factors come into play on how you get an arrow into the 10 ring. And that's the first one delivered by Lee. And you saw just a little hint of some wind in Lee's hair. Nesp sends it wide. I don't know what that is, Crispin. 8, maybe? Yeah. On the feed, they're calling it an 8. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like 8 liner, 8-9 liner. Okay. So a 9, a 10 here is, I mean, it's a must. It's a have to for Nesp. Left 9. Okay. So 28. A 10 here, and this line call is going to be one of the biggest line calls of his career for Nesp. Nope, doesn't get it. And the line call's irrelevant and so close. And again, the Koreans come from behind to win and advance. So for Lee, guaranteed to shoot for a medal. We have to just figure out who he's going to be shooting against and then what medal it's going to be. So we're in the quarterfinal matches now. The winners advance to the semifinals, and the 2 winners from our 2 semifinal rounds will shoot for gold. The 2 losers will shoot for bronze. I mean, Justin, seriously? The Koreans just keep doing this. It doesn't matter where, like, what, like, it doesn't matter. Team, mixed team, individual. It's just incredible. They just have a lot of confidence, don't they?
They have a lot of confidence, but they have mad skill. I mean, Morrow shot so well there. To lose that match, I'm with Crispin. It's nice to be on this side watching this than try to be down there competing with these guys because they're just next level.
Yeah, and that next level keeps giving them big W's. Wow. So Lee, the number 2 ranked archer in the world at 26 years old, sits the number 5 ranked world archer, Nesp at 36 years old. Now, the next match is it's going to be insane. Woo-jin, Gazoz, going after it. What, Lucy? What do you got to add to this? Probably want to unmute your microphone. Yeah.
This should be like the gold medal coming up. Like
no doubt.
These 2 giants competing. And also, I feel like it was a bit clickbaity of World Archery this morning. They put a little quote from him saying, "Oh, I got a 9." And I thought, oh my God, he's lost his match. And then I saw the scores and it was like 29, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30.
All right, so
amazing. Can't wait for this.
Justin, who is looking at the other opponent saying, oh no, I have to shoot against him? Is Woo-jin looking at Gazoz saying, oh no, I have to shoot at him? Or is Gazoz looking at Woo-jin saying, oh no, I have to shoot against him? Or are they both doing it to each other?
It might be a little bit of both doing each other. As good as Woo-jin shooting, he hasn't had his best performance in the Olympic Games. So I'm just wondering if that's playing a little role in what's going to happen right now versus Mete. He just doesn't care. He's ready to win. He's ready to prove everyone wrong. So, I expect high level. I mean, Mete had a little squirrely ends the match before, shooting a couple 7s. Hopefully he got those out of his system because he's going to need to against Woo-jin right now. He's going to have to put together a near flawless performance.
Yeah, I agree. The level is as high as it's ever been. So any stats rolling into this round that you noticed, Bernardo, from the last round or heading into this one?
About both. The crazy thing about Liu Suk and Kim Woo-jin, they are the only two archers to have not missed the yellow in all of their matches, so which is like crazy. We just saw Nespoli drop an 8 liner. Still don't have official confirmation here on the official results, but anyway, it's unbelievable. Like the level that we're seeing is really like 29 might give you a set victory. Might. It doesn't guarantee anything, you know. And the crazy thing is, I could look up Liu Suk and Mauro Nespoli. They've shot against each other only twice, with Liu Suk winning on both occasions, but that was back in 2018, so like 6 years without a match between these two. And Mauro Nespoli was ahead, and I was thinking like, well, okay, this is going to be first time Nespoli beats Liu Suk, but well, not this time. And the stats are also hugely in favor of Kim Woo-jin, coming up next against Mete Gazoz. It's a 4-0 for Kim Woo-jin. Mete has never beaten Kim, and he'll hope to be doing so today. Mete, who's been so up and down in this competition in the past couple of years, he might have a blistering performance or just be nowhere to be found. So really don't know what to expect from him, but we know what we're going to expect from Kim Woo-jin, which is just tens.
Yeah, the first error he sends is a 9, but also it looked like for a moment there that the wind just picked up on his shot. Gazoz now full draw, sends it 9 ring. And yeah, this is it. You're reigning Olympic champion against your #1 seed in this games. And we expect this one to go down to the wire. Don't be surprised if we see a shoot off, but 2 right side 9s, but nothing to be worried about. This is the Korean way, as we've learned during these last couple days. Get those first 3 arrows out, get the information, make the changes, the adjustments that you need, and then just get after it in the end. Ooh, good shot by Gazoz. An X.
I love the comment having checked their arrows for remote control.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Ooh.
Okay. A 10 here and that 7 wouldn't have mattered anyway in set point scoring system. You can see Gazo's sleeve rolling, but all right, so 28 out of the box. Boy, so that's the first, what, sub 27 we've seen from Kim Woo-jin, right?
The first sub 29. He's shot anything but 29 and 30 up until now.
Wow. No way. You don't think he's nervous, do you? Justin?
No.
You think Kim Woo-jin is nervous?
100% he's nervous. He's human. None of these guys
No.
are not nervous.
No, guy's a robot. He's a cool customer. There's no way.
I mean, these two guys are chasing a GOAT status. If Mete does a back-to-back win here, definitely puts him in the conversation. Kim Woo-jin gets a gold here. That gives him 5 golds, and arguably, not even arguably, he's the best to do it.
And what's so interesting too is, like, if you look at Korea and the culture and the way that the team is and the archers are, the hard work has been done. They put more emphasis actually on team play than they do on individuals, where obviously, you know, us coming from a Western culture, we're exactly the opposite. So this is kind of you know, it's not the most critical thing in the world for the Korean archers. Individuals amazing, but it's about that team and the culture. And they got that work done earlier on this week. So still yet to find the 10 ring for Kim Woo-jin. Gazoz there. So he's got 2 out of 4 so far. And the Turkish crowd going bonkers. Second arrow of the second set. And now the 10 ring still on the right side for Kim Woo-jin. But now hits the 10. Korean crowd goes nuts. 2 set points to 0 for Mete Gazoz. Ooh, bow blown around quite a bit. 9 ring.
1 second to go, and he gets a 9. Like, so impressive.
I know. Normally, 1 second to go, and he's hitting at 10. And an X. So to go tie, a 10 here, and we go 3 sets to 1 point, a 9 or under, and it's going to be tied up at 2 set points apiece. 9. Okie dokie.
I do have a little spy in the field again, and
Okay.
what they're saying is that the wind is oscillating, but it's a strange wind because not only is it swirling, but it's switching from, according to them, switching from tailwind to headwind to tailwind to headwind. So that's an interesting fact. It's not impossible because if you look at the layout of an Olympic stadium for archery, it is kind of a funneling effect. So the wind, pretty much at the archer standpoint, it's more easy for the wind to travel along the path of the arrow instead of coming over the stands. It's blocked by the stands on left and right. So that could be something that the archers are having to deal with here. But it would just be interesting to see. And interesting in the previous match with those archers shooting, if you looked at a lot of their arrows, they were on the left and the wind was coming from the right to the left. But now with the day moving on and the wind picking up, the wind is now headwind, tailwind. And that is super tough to judge.
First arrow of the third set. We're all tied up at 2-2. Kim Woo-jin looks like he's got the 10 liner. Whoa. High flyer 8. Seven seconds left on the clock in that shot. A little bit of a quicker shot. Another 8.
He's been really inconsistent with the shot timing.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing about the set system, though, is that you can just forget about this. You can just be like, it's okay, get the next ones.
And that's really, when we talk about an archer having a couple of flyers, as long as you're doing it in the same set with set point system, you can kind of put those behind you. And especially for an archer shooting at the level of Gazoz, he could come out and shoot a 30 right out of, on the next set points. And I think that's plays, to the strengths of the set scoring system as opposed to the cumulative. Because if this was cumulative scoring, then you're kind of like, well, the way Kim Woo-jin shooting, maybe it's over. But really, if you look at Bernardo, if you look at the last match and you look at the arrow average versus what we're looking at right now, it's a massive difference between the first match and this match. I mean, 9.2 for Kim Woo-jin and 9.1 for Gazoz. I mean, by our standards, a little low, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know how these guys, they got this far. Because, clearly they don't stand a chance, I guess, against Liu Suk. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think really the wind is picking up now, so it makes it more challenging. And but what you were saying, Greg, really, we've seen a lot from Mete like this. Like, he might be nowhere in one end, and then the next one, he just shoots a 30 like nothing happened, which is really remarkable about him.
So Gazoz shoots first. Kim Woo-jin leads 4 set points to 2, an outright win, and Kim Woo-jin is shooting for a medal. For Gazoz, it's just outside the 10 ring in the 9. And Kim Woo-jin does not pounce on that and really sends his first arrow so far this match on the left side of the target. 9-9 we go. Ho, 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 ho. Gazoz.
Applying that pressure.
Yep. Right in the middle of the X ring. Whoa. Right side 8 for Kim Woo-jin.
And again for Kim,
10
he's
here.
like, it's fine. One set.
Yeah, no big deal. 10 here. We're going 4-4 apiece. Good steady hold. And an 8.
Not so steady there in the end.
I guess not. That body English right there kind of looked like he almost said he plucked it. You know, plucked the string, right? Like. Oh. So a chance to tie, doesn't get it done. Even Gazoz with that 8. This is a strange match, and not the level of match we thought we saw. I just think maybe that each archer looked across the aisle at the beginning of this thing and thought, wow, you know, this is who I'm shooting against. But I figured by this point in time, the nerves would have settled down. And also, from what Crispin just said, too, you know, a swirling wind can definitely be a tricky wind. Justin, when you're shooting in a swirling wind, what is generally your strategy to get the arrow to the 10 ring?
It's hard to say. You got to just feel it in your body. You know, these guys might be just aiming at the middle and just hoping for the best. You know, I think it's not just the wind that's at play here. You know, Kim Woo-jin, this is the farthest he's been in the individual of Olympic Games. So, you know, the past 2 games has probably haunted him, and you know that has a lot to do with it. I don't think each of these archers are beating each other. They're actually beating themselves, and sometimes when you get to this level, it's not who wins the match; it's who chokes the least.
Fair point. All right, so they're all tied up at 4-4. First to 6 wins. If we split the set points, we're going to a shoot-off. Whoever wins outright, though, advances to shoot, guaranteed for a medal of some sort. Kim Woo-jin starts off with a strong 10. Gazoz out left, 9-8 liner. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah. So middle of the X ring for Kim Woo-jin, and he just feels like right now that he's going for it. Slipping through Gazoz's fingers. A 10 here guarantees Kim Woo-jin will shoot for a medal.
Oh.
Wow. All right. So a 10 by Meta Gazoz, and we're going tied. We're going 5-5 to a shoot off.
And as reigning Olympic champion, like, what is going through your mind?
He's on the verge of getting knocked out. And that's it. He's out.
Doesn't do it.
An 8 left, and your reigning gold medalist is out, and Kim Woo-jin advances. Boy, that has got to be a huge sigh of relief. Definitely not the match that we were expecting. But Lucy, I know you're going through it right now. I can see the emotions on your face. Arrow average 9.1 for Kim Woo-jin, 9 for Gazoz. What a match!
And in the last round, it was like 9.7 average. You know, it's it just must be absolutely heartbreaking as well if you're Olympic champion. And yeah, I know it means so much to him. Well, it means so much to all of them, obviously. But yeah, you can see on his face he's kind of heartbroken there.
Yeah, and for the Koreans, you know, for our first semifinal match, it's going to be Lee and Kim going up against each other. So one of those two guaranteed to go shoot for gold. I would have to think that when you're shooting in a semifinal match next to the person that you've been shooting with in practice at the center in tournaments, that probably it's going to be a little less nerve-wracking, I would think. But I mean, you guys can weigh in on that one.
Really depends. If archers sometimes tend to have tendencies to lose to some archers more often than not, especially when you shoot all the time. So if in the back of the mind Kim Woo-jin's like, I beat him 10 times out of 12 times or whatever it is, then it gives you that little bit of upper edge. You'd rather shoot against him than someone else that you're not as familiar with.
You're checking out the Archery in Paris watch party. I'm Greg White hosting. You got Crispin Duenas on top, Lucio Sullivan in the middle, and Justin Hewish down bottom left, and our guy Bernardo Oliveira. A lot of Olympians in this panel. Not you, Lucy. Not me either. But you also have 4 medals to your career. And now we had Lisa Unruh, who joined us a little bit ago, and her guy Florian taking center stage in what is an all-European affair as the 17-year-old Baptiste Addis, who has definitely been fighting his way, scrapping his way into this deep into the brackets. We thank you for joining us here on our Archery in Paris watch party. If you're on YouTube, grab some comments down there. If you have any question for our panels, maybe you're a shooter and you have some things that you want to ask about, feel free. If we get them up there, maybe they'll be able to answer it for you. And if you're watching us on Archery Plus, you can go to the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, and you can tag in @World Archery with a comment or a question. We appreciate you all being here. If you're just joining us, we're watching a feed. So check your local listings as to where archery is being played out right now. Get it on a second screen device and hang out with us as we bring you this expert commentary and insight into marvel of the level of archery happening in these games. Our final day of competition, men's individual matches. We've already had 2 quarterfinals and the Koreans dominating, and they'll be shooting off against each other. Lee and Kim will be shooting against each other in the first semifinal. Now we have an all-European affair before we get to Brady Ellison and Kim Jae-duk. That's going to be an exciting match as well. As Justin Hewish mentioned, Brady Ellison with 2 silver medals in his career and 2 bronze medals, one of them an individual. He's looking to better that in the individual category, looking for a gold that would put him in an elite category of conversation as an archer. So for Unruh, starting off with an 8, and Addis with a 10, and Lisa Unruh, who told us that she feels that Florian, who's quiet, will be in his own bubble, even with the French crowd behind Addis, which is crazy. This 17-year-old up against it, and a flyer into the 6 ring. Boy, Justin,
yeah,
I didn't even look like that shot was that bad.
Yeah, it looked like he got caught by a little gust of wind, and a little bit of wind and a bad shot at the same time.
Still with the chance to take 2 sets to 0 if he could shoot a 10. That's got to be a 9. So even after that big 6, we're still, looks like we're going to split our set points 1-1. So no real damage done there.
I think the vertical variance that I'm seeing in the archers really does tell me that there is swirling, like back and forth wind, either like headwind or tailwind. And like usually you'll see left and right variance if it's a crosswind that's coming across. But from what I'm getting in the my people in the crowd is that it's coming slightly from the right and mainly a tailwind, but can switch to a headwind. So those definitely will push your arrows high and low. And at this point, if you were to ask me what I would do in this situation, PSP, pull, shoot, pray. And that's pretty much all you can do, because sometimes if you just stick your sight in the middle of the target and just execute a good shot, like the arrow's going to do what the arrow's going to do. And just got to just keep on going and try not to let the wind affect your form, which is the most important thing.
By the way, we just had a comment of someone who just said they haven't shot in years, but watching these games and the commentary and these matches, want to get her to pull her bow out and shoot again, we encourage. I speak for the whole panel when we say get your bow out and shoot again. It is as fun as it was when you shot the last time, maybe even more fun, especially coming off the back of these games. And I mean, I live in two worlds. I live in an archery world and I live in a motorcycle racing world. And I cannot tell you how many people in the motorcycle racing world have reached out to me saying, where can I go buy a bow? So I have definitely given people a lot of advice. Will they stick with it? Maybe not, but people are going to have a lot more equipment by the end of the week. That's for sure.
They can always come
So
compound.
things have settled down for Unruh, 10-10 out of the box, as well from Addis. Much different set in set number 2 as these archers have gotten the nerves out, although for Unruh, it's a left side. They're calling it a 9. I'm not sure, Crispin. It kind of looked like it might have even drifted in the 8 ring. But they're calling it a solid 9. So at this point, we're going to split set points again, possibly.
Yeah, I think it looks like it's touching the line for sure. To go off of what you were saying and what Lucy was saying, oh, Greg's got to get his glasses out. There we go. Yeah, he's checking that. Yeah. What Lucy said is like the equipment that these guys are shooting, for anybody who's like interested in picking up archery now, the equipment that these guys are shooting is the type of equipment that you need to practice on a more regular basis. If you don't have that much time to practice, but you're really interested in archery and you still want to go shoot, this equipment is called an Olympic or a recurve bow, and there's another type of bow called a compound bow, which is what Lucy and Greg shoot. And Lucy's very good at it. If you guys want to like hit up the messages with Lucy, I'm sure she could tell you guys where to get all that stuff. But it's one of those equipment divisions that you don't need to practice nearly as much as the recurve Olympic people need to practice, because I'm not going to say it's easier. It's just
like Gibson.
I know the best compounders in the world are going to practice just as much as the Olympic and the recurve people do.
No, they're not.
But it is one of those.
No way. No, they are not.
You can pick it up every Saturday and only every Saturday and still not lose as much that a recurve would.
I mean, our British number one, he shoots 400 hours a day. And she's world number one.
Yeah, I understand that. How many do recurve shooters shoot, though? They have to shoot more than 400 a day.
No, about 400 is about right.
Yeah. That's what Soche Wan, who joined us the very first day, that's what she was saying. It's 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night with a lunch break, and they're shooting 300 to 400 a day with a compound. Physically demanding, it's just different. You know, when these archers are going to full draw, we don't know exact poundage, but for Florian Unruh, he's probably, what do you think? As he goes, that's 7, right?
He's probably about 50 pounds, and it still can shoot a 7 outright, yeah.
So when you go to full draw with an Olympic recurve bow, or even a bear bow, which is basically an Olympic recurve bow without all the good fancy bells and whistles on it, you can get those wood and stuff. There's a lot of people that love recurve archery that will shoot bear bow as well, and you can look that up online. But with a compound bow, generally Lucy and I, we're going to be pulling through somewhere in the mid 50s. I pull back a 59.5 pound bow, but when I get to full draw, because of the cam system, I'm actually only holding 15 pounds. So for compound, we just aim a lot longer. Our shot cycle is a lot longer, but definitely you can be a weekend recreational shooter, and a compound bow is definitely a good way to go. Agree with you 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And these guys, to get to the Olympics, it's a lot of hours and a lot of strength training. Just incredible. And a lot of them have been injured at this Olympics. They've had, repetitive strain injuries in their elbows and their shoulders. Rotator cuffs is common. And to come out and, absolutely smash it here at the Olympics, it's been incredible to watch. Superhuman people.
What a match we have on our hands. Exactly. Good comment. Thank you. So this all-European affair, it's something special. Whoever wins this is going to shoot for a medal, either gold or bronze. And Baptiste Addis leads 4 set points to 2. And
he's such a
9 out of
cool
the
kid
box.
as well. He's 17. He's already won a medal at this Olympics on home turf. He's just so cool.
So, we've talked about like who people look like, right? Nespoli is like, now Eminem, Brady Ellison looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. This guy looks like the Karate Kid from back in the day. Check your WhatsApp right now from our producer.
Slightly.
Ralph
Macchio.
Macchio.
It looks like Ralph Macchio as a 17-year-old with the headband and everything. And there's even a picture of Macchio with glasses on. Baptiste Addis, the French Karate Kid. We are just crushing it here. A 10 to tie. He's able to get it and go up 5 set points to 3. And that wasn't the crane. You're welcome. The crane. Forget
Have you
it.
guys been watching Cobra
Thank
Kai?
you, Justin. That's all. All I'm trying to do is get Justin to laugh. You know what I mean? It's poor guy. It's 4:40 in the morning, California time. Yeah, I'm not saying it out loud, Crispin. Exactly.
So you think his coach would be saying, "Sweep the leg, sweep the leg"?
Sweep the
while
leg. No,
Florian's at full throat.
no.
Paint
No,
the
not
fence,
Baptiste.
wax on.
Yeah, paint the fence, wax on.
Yeah,
Wax
yeah.
on, wax off.
You got to feel for Unruh here, though. I mean, the crowd is definitely not going. They're not for him at this point. He can be in his own bubble as much as Lisa Unruh said, but at some point it's got to creep in.
And I mean,
In order to
again,
send this thing to a tiebreaker, though, Unruh's got to have the set.
Well, and Unruh, he won his mixed team silver medal. Yeah, and both these archers have actually won medals already. So what a great Olympics they've been having.
Mm-hmm. Now I can't think of anything but Karate Kid. This is our producers.
Wow.
Great shot.
We potentially might see 3 Koreans and a Frenchman in the Final Four, just like yesterday.
Bite your tongue. Go Brady.
Oh yeah,
You've
go
got Brady
Brady,
coming
bro.
up.
It's a watch party, man. I don't have to do the normal unbiased commentary thing. We're just chilling. We're just 5 friends chilling on a couch. Well, some of us are in a hotel having the continental breakfast. Doors open. Oh, and there you go. Okie dokie.
Shoot off.
We're going tiebreaker. Oh, I'm so excited.
He had to
Good
get
10,
10. Just for your mind, right?
Yep. Okay, so for the 17-year-old, delivers a 10, but not enough points on the board as Unruh is going to get us to 5 set points apiece. And that gives us an opportunity to talk to Bernardo Oliveira. Bernardo, let's talk about tiebreaker. What can we expect? What's going to happen?
Oh, well, what's going to happen is pretty straightforward. Only 1 arrow for each archer. And then, simple as that, closest to the center wins, even if it's just 1 millimeter closer or further from the center than the other. The career of these athletes being defined by a single arrow. Baptiste Addis's career is quite short as of yet. And for sure, we are going to see a lot from him still for many years to come. But Florian Unruh has been in the circuit for so long, and he's got a shot for the first time to be in an Olympic semifinal, and it's going to come down to a single arrow to decide whether he goes or not.
Florian Unruh, almost twice the age of this archer, Baptiste Addis, 17 years old to 31 years old, going off against each other. Experience versus, what am I doing here? This is cool at 17 years old. All right, 1 arrow closest to the center. Who shoots first? Trying to see the
They'll go
overhead
back
shot.
to the same order that they started the match with. So I believe that was Florian first.
Yeah. You're right. I saw the judge signal towards Florian that he'll be shooting first.
Can we get a heart rate going?
Boom, 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 boom. The tone setter. Oh, boy, oh, boy. You got a couple millimeters for the Frenchman to get this thing done. Is it possible? And he shoots a 10, and it's a couple millimeters away. Oh, what a heartbreaker.
Whoa, 3 millimeters. 3 millimeter difference. Unbelievable.
Oh, no. What a shot.
We
Wow.
got to call Lisa
Unruh
again.
right now
We got to
is
call Lisa
screaming
again.
her brains out at home happy. Okay. So not a repeat of the women's. And boy, the French crowd has nothing to really hang their head about. I mean, to lose on a 10 by 2 millimeters is a heartbreaker, but what a shot. When he needed it, Florian Unruh advances to a medal match. Now the question is, who will it be? Brady Ellison from the United States or Kim Jae-do from Korea? That match is coming up next. We know that our first semifinal is going to feature Lee and Kim, both from Korea. So can Korea do what they did in the women's individual and have all three of their archers guaranteed a medal match? That's coming up next. Oof. Justin, what do you think about that match and that shoot-off?
Oh, it was great. I mean, to see the French 17-year-old hold it together like that is just unbelievable. And then Florian, what can you say? You can't be nothing but happy for that guy.
Pretty incredible.
This is the match right here. Come on, Brady.
Well, we know who I'm rooting for. We know who Justin's rooting for. Lucy?
Yeah, Brady, I've known him a long, long time. He's good friends, and yeah, I know Kim Jae-do is great as well. But yeah, I think a lot of people will be hoping for a USA win today, won't they? Especially with your Olympics
Crispin?
coming up next time.
That's true. What do you think, Crispin? Who you pulling for?
I think it's going to be a good match. Brady came in. I was watching the feed. He's looking at every single flag on the field. I think he's been hearing about all of the arrows going everywhere. So I know if anybody's going to be able to guess the win quicker, it's going to be Brady, in my opinion, because he is. I think he's a master at that. So if anybody has the upper hand on this field, I think it's Brady.
Way not to put yourself into a corner. Bernardo, what do you think in this match? Is there anyone specifically you're pulling for?
I'm cheering for Brady, and I think he's got the upper hand. He's such a strong wind shooter, and I don't know, maybe the Korean supporters who are watching us, maybe they're gonna roast me on the comments, but I really think that Kim Jae-do, of the three Koreans, he's the one more susceptible to when pressure is applied on him. So if Brady manages to apply pressure on the young Kim Jae-do, I think he's going to crack. So that's my call.
Yeah, cheer for Korea and balance out the couch. I love it. Thank you so much. We'll take that for sure. But Casey Kaufhold's big brother, Brady Ellison. That's what they're calling him in the U.S. media after their mixed team bronze medal. First arrow from Korea, right side 8. Archery's Leonardo DiCaprio, back to full draw. Just low 9. But lefts and rights look good on that shot anyway. Kim answers with a left side 8-9 liner. 17 points total with 1 arrow to go. And another one low for Brady in the 9 ring. coming up with a bit of a 3-arrow group here if he can get it right back there in the 10 ring. Ooh. Crispin, that's your call. 10, maybe?
Yeah, that's in. It's catching the line.
A 10 for Brady in the X ring, and that's going to give him a 2-set point to 0 advantage. Justin, Brady looks kind of calm, don't you think? Kind of relaxed.
Yeah, he's been looking that way the whole entire tournament. It's good to see. He's definitely locked in. You can tell his rhythm and timing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
His shot's been really good too. His rhythm and timing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you think it helps that his kids are there?
I don't really. I mean, Brady loves his family and stuff, and so definitely he likes traveling with them. But in this moment on the big stage, I mean, Brady's a pretty cool, calm, guy. Like he's relatively chill. He doesn't let a lot of stuff really bother him. So, I mean, I'm sure it's nice, but when he's here, I think it doesn't really matter. It's just a nicer to when you get off the line and to come home to your family kind of thing in the situation. But it's the one thing that's just incredible, after these games, the archers from the U.S. have to go home and shoot their U.S. national championship in 2 weeks' time. And Brady's going to be there, and the 3 women from the U.S. team are going to be there. And there was an email that went out yesterday from USA Archery basically telling archers, come sign up, shoot and stand next to Brady, which this is not a pro category. This is a category of which for USA Archery that you can just line up with Justin Hewish. You can line up next to Brady Ellison if you're shooting in the men's category for Olympic recurve, and you can talk to them and get advice from them and make friends. And I encourage you, if you shoot next to Justin, just ask him every question you have in the book. Just kidding, Justin. Just kidding. 10-10 to start off for these 2 shooters, and now 9s apiece. Brady continuing to just kind of wear out the low end of that 10-9 area. Ooh, looks like a little bit of yellow there. Crispin, what do you think?
Yep, that is out.
A 10, and we're going 4 sets to 0 for Brady Ellison. Oh, that's a line caller.
I think that's in.
Look at him. He's like, all right, that's fine.
I've heard that you're saying how calm Brady looks, and I've heard interviews with him where he said that he's generally calm in a match until it reaches, like, I think it was like 5-3 or something like that. Even if he's behind, he's still calm. He's never really anxious about the match until it's like potentially like, oh yeah, if one arrow screws up, then this set could be over and the set could dictate the match. But I think that's a great way to be thinking, that it's like it's not over till it's over. There's no reason for you to be anxious about it. So yeah, he's got that mental attitude behind him, which I think is really helpful.
Good comment down below. Kim J-Dope, long time ahead of him. Brady's more experienced, already a multi-time. I mean, in this particular situation, I think that Brady, with the amount of experience that he has at this particular level, might play in a little bit of a factor. But, Crispin, what you were saying, you never know what somebody's mindset is. Do they get tight? Do they get snug when they're up 4-0? Now trying to, or do you get aggressive and just say, I'm going to grab this thing by the horns and, ooh, that's an open opportunity right now for Brady Ellison. A 10 here will give him a 2-point lead in this set after the first arrow.
And he could close this out.
Bottom of the 10 ring.
Straight sets would be crazy in this quarterfinal against Kim Jae-Duk.
And the rebound from Kim with a 10x.
Wow. And look at that group. Like all the holes in the target are like, if you just shift it all a little bit upwards, they're all in the 10.
It's insane. And a 9.
So Brady
So
needs
for Brady
an 8
Ellison,
to win.
8 to win, to move on. Guaranteed a medal match. Guaranteed a medal match, not a medal. Oh,
There's a
little bit of
a
a
shake
flinch
in his
from
arm.
Brady. Oh, and he's still
Still a
close
miss.
it. Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa! Wow, Crispin, what was that? You saw that little bit of movement with his right at the end of that shot there?
Yeah, I rarely see that in Brady. I think that's literally him just getting into his own head. But he's really good at getting back out of his own head. So that was probably like knowing that he needed not that high of a score to win, and then just having that little bit of a thought. Like I who knows what's going on in his head? I can't speak for Brady. What's going on through his mind at full draw? I know that he's very process oriented. I know his mental game is extremely strong. The only thing that I can think of for somebody to have that little bit of a bobble in the string side is that you've thought about the what if on that arrow. But he's such a strong shooter, and I mean he's the guy who shoots full time in the States, and he knows how to put it in the X ring. We saw his group. And like what Bernardo was saying, or I forget who was saying, I was so entrenched in this match. If you moved his entire group up by 2 centimeters on the target, that would have been a perfect 90 out of 90 on that target. So, like this, that's the experience that everybody is talking about. That's Brady Ellison experience right there to win, like right there to win a straight sets against a Korean in the comments. If anybody's going to do it, he's one of the guys on the field that could do it.
Lucy.
And he's the first one to win in straight sets as well, like in these matches.
Yeah. And like the comment says, to win it against Korea, question mark. I mean, this is why we shoot. This is why we play this game, because it is not a done deal just yet. We know that there'll be 2 Koreans that'll be shooting in medal matches. And for Brady Ellison, he's one match win away from his best individual performance at any games. He has a bronze individual. He's got 2 silver medals in team play and a bronze in team play. So the next match that we're going to see where Brady shows up is going to be a huge one. As for these 2 Koreans, these 2 teammates, this match to decide who gets to shoot for gold and who gets to shoot for bronze. And if you didn't join us yesterday, where you saw teammates shooting off against each other, I don't know. Justin, can you explain to us why now, all of a sudden, we see one Korean in a white shirt and the other one is in a blue shirt?
Yeah, it's pretty much Olympic and world archery rules. They want to kind of differentiate between the 2 archers, so they require them to wear opposite color uniforms during a match that they happen to shoot against each other.
Yep. So each team is going to come up with a primary color and a secondary color just for this situation, just in case teammates square off in elimination matches. And that's the situation that we're in. Okay.
And it's weird as well because these guys will be coached by the same coaches. But obviously you've got like one coach who's now against you, but it's your coach. Yeah. So it's so weird.
By the way, knowing the Korean system, they predetermined, like they probably had this already worked out. If this match happens, I'm, as the main head coach, going to go with this athlete, and then your assistant coach, you're going to go, because we haven't seen this current coach that we're looking at. We haven't seen him at all this games. So
I got to comment on that one though, because the coach in the blue shirt is really reputable archer Im Dong-hyun from Team Korea from the previous days, and he is an Olympic gold medalist as well. And he did it with, how do I say it, less than perfect vision. So he was noted to be like almost blind. So he did a lot of his shooting allegedly based off of feel. But he is somebody to have on your team for sure, because like, Olympic gold medalists in the box, potential Olympic gold medalists on the line, it's, yeah.
Well,
it's
and to your point, Crispin, that's the depth of Korea. Not only do we have depth of bench with the shooters, and even the people that are sitting at home that didn't make the team, there are people on the men's and women's side that could have been to these games and competed at this high level, right? But you also, because they've been dominant for so long, have created this amazing coaches. And we see Korean coaches now that are spread out around the world and are coaching other teams from around the world. And so, yeah, having your second coach in there is perfect. All right, so we go 10-9 liner for Kim Woo-jin, and we got solid 10-10 for Lee. And a 9 high. At least Kim Woo-jin started this first end a lot stronger than the last time we saw him. Be a line call to see if we're going to split the set points.
Yeah, exactly. Kim's, I was trying to get that to show on the scoring app for everybody here on the watch party, but there is a 9-star arrow. And so I know it says 29-29 on the scoring app, but they are looking at the arrow really close right now on the target, and the judge is trying to see it from both sides. You don't just look at an arrow from one side or the other. And for everybody who doesn't know how to do the arrow call, you have to, like, if the line is bent, you have to imagine where the line was going to be if the line is bent, and then see if the arrow would have been touching that line had the line been there, or get on your double reading glasses like Greg's got right now. That's a super, wow, that is,
it's a good look,
spectacular right there. That is a great look.
Yeah.
Don't
slide into my DMs now.
Kim Woo-jin did not get it, so I have to edit this because it is 29-28 in favor of Lee Woo-suk.
We definitely could see a couple 30-30 sets. And what we've seen across the board from the Korean team and individually as well is it's the third, fourth, fifth set where they really start to pour it on, and they're going up against each other. So 2 set points to 0 for Lee. And that arrow average after the first end, straight up, already 9.7. There you go. Just north of the X-ring in the 10.
How you were saying Brady is like a big brother to Casey. I kind of feel like Kim Woo-jin is a big brother to these two guys, to Lee Woo-suk and Kim Jin-duk. Like he's literally like their big brother on the teams. You know, he looks after them. There's so much respect for them with him. It's been really hard to like almost shoot against your big brother.
Yeah, plus he doesn't want to lose to his younger brothers, you know? Like, oof. Yeah.
You guys have brothers? Do you feel that with archery?
I'm a middle child, so yeah, I have brothers, all right. You are, Crispin? You're a middle child too?
Archers?
No, I'm an only child.
Oh, only child.
Kim shoots another 9 on the line.
Looks like a 30.
It's a 9 here, and we're tied at 2 sets apiece. Yeah,
that's a 9.
High north. Oh boy, that went north.
Canada.
Yeah, I think that's right. I know they better have beaver tails where I'm going in Fredericton.
I hope they do. And for anybody, it's not what you guys think. It's not the actual tails of a beaver. It's a pastry called a beaver tail.
It's like a flat piece of fried dough.
It's like fried
it's a flat
dough,
piece of fried dough. You top it with Nutella, or you top it with like granulated sugar or something. They have them like at the bigger cities. They'll have street vendors out there. You know, you can go grab them off the street or whatever. So I'm in trouble because the Airbnb where I'm staying at next week in Canada, I'm literally, it's attached to a bakery. So I'm very nervous.
Just waiting for a score update on the live feed.
Okay.
Kim's third arrow.
Being a middle child is kind of like being an only child. Can be.
And do your siblings shoot? Because I used to shoot
No.
recurve with my little sister, and she used to beat me, and I was like, I'm going compound.
Lucy, I didn't start shooting until 2015 or 2016. So I'm more recent into the sport. So none of my siblings shoot. They all ride motorcycles though.
Is 2-2.
All right. So officially 2-2 tie.
Yeah, so that arrow didn't matter. Oh my gosh, he put another one on the line.
Dude, I would love to get so deep psychologically into that comment. Being a middle child is like being an only child, but I'm not. We're watching archery here on the couch. Lucy, how old were you when you took that black and white photo of you shooting a recurve bow?
So I was 10 when I started shooting, and basically with all kids, they start them as recurves. But I only grew up to be 5'1", so recurve is quite challenging for me.
A limb dragging on the ground. Yeah,
literally. But that was from a newspaper article, so yeah, it was cool. But I think not long after that, I moved to compound.
that black and white photo of you or whatever it is really you?
Yeah, same height.
Dude, I thought that was a shot from the 1920s, and it was just someone that looked like you. Wow.
No,
impressive.
it's from a newspaper. Yeah, you can see that on my Instagram.
29-30. Somebody's got to jump up and go grab this gold. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Levis took his 9.7 versus 9.6. Like,
that's kind of what I was
faster.
thinking about. You know, when you, even though you want to beat the person on your team, for sure, there's no question about it. I mean, every sport is like that. If you have a team of people, motorsports is like that. You know, these things. But I think that you're going to come at it more relaxed because you know what you're going to be expecting from your teammate, right? Like Justin, you know, you shoot again. I'm sure that over the years of shooting, and now that you're back into archery and you're back into the USA archery scene, that there are certain people that you find more frequently to shoot against, I would think, and your mindset has to be different than someone who is not in your country, is the reigning gold medalist, you know, that type thing.
It definitely has a little bit to play, but let's get real. This is the semifinals of the Olympics. It really doesn't matter right now. The pressure of that alone is really the biggest factor here.
Ooh, wind is a factor too in that shot, and whoa, right in the 10 ring for your number one qualifier.
Yeah, on the field they're saying that the wind is picking up as a tailwind. And it's an oscillating tailwind again, but it's they're still hitting 10s. So I mean, like, yeah.
And of course, Woo-jin is after his third gold. So I mean, I can't imagine how much pressure you're putting on yourself. I mean, is he even putting pressure on himself for that?
Ooh. Okay, we're going 10-9 apiece.
One arrow at a time.
Yeah, that's really what it's about. And Kim Woo-jin, really, to stay alive, is 10 or nothing here if he wants to shoot for gold. Oh, X-ring. Okay. So now the pressure's on Lee. A 10 to tie, we're going to go 5-3 or anything less than that, and we're going to go 4-4. Got it.
10.
Another X. Okay. And again, this is to shoot for gold, so whoever loses this match goes and shoots for bronze. So 5-3 set points. So the situation is pretty easy. Kim Woo-jin needs to win the next outright set to force us to a shoot-off and single arrow. If not, tied in set points, and Lee Woo-shuk goes to gold and Kim Woo-jin to bronze.
Just doing some quick math here, with Lucy pointing out that Lee had a 9.7 arrow average. If you extrapolate that out to a 72 arrow round, that's an average of about 698.4 points. So his shooting right now is almost 700 level on a windy semifinals field. Just to
Under
put
all
that
the
out there
pressure.
for people who usually shoot. Yeah, who usually shoot a
Added to that,
72
the
arrow
pressure of
round.
shooting to get to gold, and that's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind blowing.
Math is fun.
I just I wanted to bring like some stats here. Like there is nothing in between them, even in the head-to-head matches. It's like they've faced each other 8 times in gold medal finals, and it's 4-4. And now all the stats pretty much that we look in this entire competition, there is basically nothing in between them. Absolutely amazing.
It could come down to just one single arrow then. Great start.
Who's gonna
by
bobble?
Kim Woo-jin.
Yeah, I think this will be the match of who messes up the most, not who shoots perfect.
Ooh.
Problem is they could tie 30-30 and Lee would still win.
But Kim Woo-jin putting the pressure on. Oh. Okay.
This is going to be a shoot-off.
9. Yeah, 9 will force a shoot off.
Look at 80 beats. It's like after that 8, Kim Woo-jin's heart rate just started plummeting. And a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot off. Shoot off to determine who even gets into the gold medal match.
They may as well have just not shot this whole match and just done closest to the middle. Who wins? You go through.
Rock, paper, scissors. Could have gone rock. With the stats that Bernard was talking about, rock, paper, scissors would have done it. Just saying.
Yeah. The
why
only
not?
edge that the only edge Liu Sok has over Kim Woo-jin is like on the head-to-heads they've shot against each other 10 times. That is on the international circuit. God knows how many times they faced each other in Korea. But then on the head-to-heads it's 6-4 in favor of Liu Sok. But when you consider them shooting in gold medal finals, which is 8 times, it's crazy. Then it's 4-4. But man,
Bernard, real quick. Tiebreaker, tell us about it.
1 arrow each archer. Closest to the center wins. We saw just now the quarterfinal between Florian and Unruh. And who was that? My goodness, my mind is... Baptiste Addis, only 3 millimeters, decided the winner. And yeah, as straightforward as that. Kim Woo-jin shooting first. We're about to find out whether he will go on to try the 3rd gold.
70 meters downrange. Yeah, here we go. Our producers are going to put up the heart-thumping sound, I'm sure. Of which So Chae-won from the Korean team joined us day one. That freaked her out. She did not like that at all.
Well, they put that in the stadium too, when they have the tiebreak. The in-venue people put the heartbeat up on the speakers. Yeah,
that's so bad.
But it stops once the clock starts, so you're fine. Yeah.
I'd be like, play me some rock and roll music while I'm shooting. Let's go. One arrow piece to decide who gets to shoot for gold here in Paris 2024. Closest to the center gets her done. The wily veteran kicks us off. Heart rate, about 10 beats a minute more, and he sends it in the 10 ring down low.
Left a lot of room there.
There's a lot of room for this young man to work with. His heart rate's higher. He sends it up high, and he's going to the bronze. And Kim Woo-jin, fan favorite, is going to shoot for gold. How do you like that, Justin Hewish?
Oh, this is what this was all about. I mean, I feel sorry for whoever's shooting the bronze medal match. Dang. Kim Woo-jin in the finals. This is where we hope, Brady makes it through and, try to help settle that GOAT debate head to head. Kim Woo-jin versus Brady Ellison would be the story of the day for sure.
Lucy, you're shaking your head. I know you got something going on up in that brain of yours.
So much. Too much. No, I think Kim Woo-jin, just the fact that he can get 3 gold medals, which would make Korea 5 golds in total, is just, they're one more round, and that could be potential. But I think you guys are right. I think it might be Brady in the final. So, and he was on fire in his last match. So the point average 9.6 wasn't Brady's 9.7.
Yeah, that's a match ago
Brady.
though. A match ago.
Yeah.
Kim Woo-jin had like a 9.1, I think, in his first match average, and ends up with a 9.6. I don't know. Right now, I'm like shh on the Brady thing, because honestly, a Brady Ellison Kim Woo-jin matchup, we've seen it before. It would be spectacular. But Florian Unruh as well, possibly to the gold medal match. I mean, anything is possible right now. And a lot of people didn't think this situation was going to happen. They thought that Korea would be in this particular spot, but it's only going to be one Korean, and it's either going to be a German or an American shooting for gold in our final day of competition. A look at Brady Ellison, 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", and a 6'0", going in straight sets to advance to this semifinal match. And the traditional Brady Ellison float wave. Hi, everybody. I love that wave.
Sorry, one more time.
The float wave? There you go. I don't do it as well as him, but
Nailed it.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen was in 2016, I believe it was, the Olympic champion of that year and Brady traded shirts at the World Cup final in Copenhagen. And so the guy from Korea who traded shirts with him, and I it's so bad, his name is escaping me right now. He was a joker. He was an absolute funny guy. So he traded shirts with Brady, stood up on the stage, put Brady's shirt on, and immediately just went. It was just classic, and everybody just busted out laughing because of Brady's wave. But this Korean just took it to the next level.
That's funny. That's not really a traditional float. So what we're talking about is when we have parades in the States, they make these things floats. They're like a vehicle with some crazy thing on them. Yeah, the float wave generally is this. It's this wave, but that's what I'm calling Brady's. It's just a little different. All right, first arrow sets the tone just outside of the 10 ring in the 9 for Unruh. And here's Brady Ellison. Oh boy. Okay, so Brady starts off with a 10 to Justin Hewish's approval.
Let's go, Brady.
Justin, who's the last American to win a gold medal?
There we go. There's 2 10s.
Wow, another 10 for Brady Ellison. And Unruh starts off with a 27. So basically an 8 or better for Brady, and he's going to win the first 2 set points. And he shoots a 9. Crispin, what do you do for a living outside of archery?
I'm a high school math and physics teacher.
How was my math? I did the math on that one. I said 8. Huh? Pretty good.
That was good. That was
Thanks.
very
Public
quick. You didn't need
education.
to use a calculator. You do need to show your work, though.
No. Okay. see what I can come up with.
I don't know. Our resident stats guy is going to be the math guy for today.
I'm using
Big
a
respect to
spreadsheet,
Bernardo.
so
Still,
yeah,
I mean, like you've got all the numbers there and everything, and you can put it all together. And I'm just going off the top of my head, but you've done the actual research.
it's quite
Showing
fun
my
to do
math.
so.
The 27 minus 30 is -3, so you get a half.
I know
for
it
that.
is. That's why I did it that way. All right, hold on. Let me fix this for you.
F, yeah.
And I have an F. By the way, I'm doing it off of the back of my my sight marks for the bow that I'm shooting. So this
Speaking
was
of sight
incorrect.
marks, Floor and Unruh just shot an X.
What program do you
So-
use to get those sight marks?
I'm not telling you. Brady answers though with a 10. And of course, if you're watching this for the first time on our watch party, an X and a 10 have the same value. It's just the X ring is just that smaller ring in the middle. It's used for something during the course of archery, but not right now. Oop. All right, so we go 10-9 apiece.
Both the 9s are in the same position on the target, which is also interesting.
Ooh, just outright. Chance for Ellison to go up 4 set points to 0 with a 10.
Be huge.
Bow's moving a little bit. Drops it low. Okay.
Dang it.
So we're going to 3-1 in the set. Scoring system.
I can also
French
imagine that
fans.
the crowd is behind Brady, because I have been with Brady in France before, and he is a rock star over there. Everybody's like asking him to stop and sign something or take a picture or do something. So he's definitely got big status over in France, and France definitely does have like big super fans of people. And like Florian Unruh, also a really like popular archer in his right, but for some odd reason the French people have gravitated towards Brady. So I can imagine the stands being noisy for him.
You know, Brady also, as we're going to get to this question, Crispin, which is, do you use archery examples when teaching physics? But before you answer that question, I just want to say that, you know, Brady does have products too. You know, he has archery products that people like, they use, they buy. And I think that also helps his status. You know, the status he's been able to build is a long time. This is his 5th Olympic Games. And that people, you know, his name, literally people can have it in their hand. You know, with tabs, he makes release pouches on the compound side. But do you use archery for teaching physics?
Absolutely, I do.
Next.
There's ridiculous amounts of math in archery. One thing that I love telling people is Mackenzie Brown was talking about this yesterday on yesterday's watch party. Both archers are tied at 10, by the way. Is that when you try to hit a 10 at 70 meters, you can't move off the head of a ballpoint pen. And that's a great visual for some people. But I've actually done the calculation on how much you're allowed to move from like one edge of the 10 ring to the other edge of the 10 ring. And it's actually 1/10 of a degree. So if you can imagine those protractors that you have in elementary school, between 1 degree line is small already. And now divide that into 10 more equal parts inside of that, and that's how much you're allowed to move. So literally, if you move more than 1 degree off from the middle of the target, you're going to miss the target. So when you guys earlier said 99.9% of people in the world can't hit an archery target at 70 meters, that's, yeah, I believe it, because 1/10 of a degree, how many people can stand still and hold 1/10 of a degree perfectly still? So that's a great question from from was it Nicodemus? I think it was. I think I saw the name, but there's lots way more archery examples that I can use with projectile motion, with acceleration, with applied force, with conservation of energy. There's so many classical physics questions. with archery is just, it's a beautiful sport.
This
love
is
that.
why we train, right? You wouldn't just start someone at 70 meters. So,
No, of course not.
you know, we want to make archery accessible for all. Obviously, you know, you've got that 1% that can hit a 70 meters, but you know, we all started. What distance were you guys all shooting when you started? 10 meters, something like that. How long did it take you to get to Olympic distance?
Oh, that's a
Bernardo,
good question. Well, myself, maybe 1 year or so. I'd guess usually, yeah, whoever starts archery is about a year to reach 70 meters, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, definitely when
Yeah,
you
for
look at
me in
like the
this-
youth program in the States, steps them over the years, you know, from 30 to 50 and eventually 70 meters. I have some kids at my club that are doing that. One young man is getting ready to transition to 70 meters, and he's so excited.
I hate to
for
interrupt,
Unruh,
but
though,
we've got 2 10s for Unruh and
Yeah.
1 10 for Brady.
Yeah.
And 9 from Brady.
So a 10 here guarantees us going 5 set points to 3 as Brady's up 5-1. If they tie, though, Brady advances to the gold medal match, Unruh to the bronze, and there is the door open for the tie. So for Brady Ellison,
10.
one of the biggest 10s sitting out there for him to grab of his career. Are we going to keep going? Yes, we are. We keep
9.
going. So a 9 for Brady, and he loses that set, and now we're at 5-3. A little bit of chalk in that release pouch.
Might be baby powder too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that's a little trick from I don't know how many years or that archers have used baby powder to try to untack your hands, because if it's really hot and humid, you become a little bit sticky. So you use baby powder to help dry out your surfaces that you don't necessarily want to be sticky.
Boy, if Brady Ellison does not get past Unruh, if Unruh ends up winning this next set and they go to a tiebreaker and he goes to bronze, Brady Ellison, he'll be thinking about that third arrow on this end for quite a while. He had an opportunity to close it out. And with all the mathematical statistics and probabilities in the world, he might have been off just that 1/2 degree, sends it to the 9 ring. So another opportunity for Brady Ellison to close it out. Same situation that we're in, a tie, and he advances to gold medal match. If an outright win as well, if Florian Unruh can tie this thing up, we're going to go to a single arrow shoot off. And for Unruh, starts with a 9. Whoop, there we go,
10.
Brady with a 10. Wait, it's so weird as a professional commentator. I'm trying to be unbiased, but I'm not, because I'm on the couch, right? Just programmed. Good shot.
Loving his stars and stripes bow. Clearly he is too.
Justin's just hanging out right now going like, I'm just going to be quiet. Let this happen. Oh, the
Brady's
door
got
is
it.
massively open for Brady
A
Ellison.
7.
A
7 to
7.
win the match.
And a 9, and Brady Ellison has guaranteed himself his best individual performance of 5 games and giving himself an opportunity to grab gold. Wow. Oh, man. And we're going to a veteran shoot. I mean, you're talking about a 35-year-old Brady Ellison against a 32-year-old Kim Woo-jin, right? Is Kim Woo-jin 32? Yeah,
32. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think we have to go back a long way to find an Olympic champion in the men's side older than this, because Woo-jin Hyuk was just under 31 in 2012, I think. Simon Fairweather as well in 2000, but then Justin 21 in 96. I think Sebastian Flute was also in his 20s in 92, J Bars. So I think we have to go back a long way. if ever, honestly.
Wow, what a story we have unfolding. Woo!
And honestly, this gold medal final, I think it's no exaggeration if we call it the match of the century, really. Like, these two, they've been on the very top for like a decade, and they're gonna shoot it all out in the gold medal final at the Olympic Games. Like, man, this is just wild. There are no words, right?
Literally got
amazing.
goosebumps, guys.
That's awesome.
Literal
And
goosebumps.
don't forget, Florian Unruh has an opportunity as well to go win bronze and to knock out another Korean out of this deal where, you know, the talk of the town was with the brackets and with the way the Koreans have been shooting and the way they qualified, it just looked like, you know, there was the possibility of 3 medals, 2 medals, and now we're down to at least 1 guaranteed for Korea. And for Brady Ellison, he's on the cusp of, I mean, solidifying himself definitely in the annals of history. If he can capture a gold medal, even an individual silver will be his best. I'm not sure, Justin, how much room he's got left on his arms for more tattoos, Brady Ellison, you know, but I'm sure he'll be able to figure out some place to put silver on there or gold.
Yeah, he never got the Tokyo one, so I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, I'm sure if he's able to climb the top of the podium here, he will definitely be getting his getting caught up with those tattoos for sure.
It's been a long
For
road
anybody
back
watching,
for Brady Ellison. So go ahead, Crispin.
I was just going to say, for anybody watching the live feed, when you saw Brady and Florian shake hands afterwards, Brady being the professional that he is and the good guy that he is, he was saying stuff to Florian Unruh, and I've been in that situation with Brady before, where he's now, now that he's beaten you in the semifinal, he is now your number one supporter. So he's telling Unruh, like, hey, go kick butt, like, get that bronze, right? So I think it just shows the class act that Brady has when he's a gracious winner. Like, that's a great trait about him.
Yeah. Bernardo, as we get into it, I'll be curious to find out when we get to the gold medal match what the arrow average was for each of those archers on their last match leading into it. But what about these two that we have for bronze and their arrow average from the last match they shot to get into bronze? It's still really high. I mean, I think Unruh he might have finished up with a 9.6, 9.5 arrow average on that one. I mean, it's still extremely high.
Semi-final was 9.3 that he had. He was the lowest of the 4 who are still shooting, and Liu Sok 9.5.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Bronze medal match. And yeah, Crispin, to your point of what you had said about Brady, that's why I thought about it when I saw the feed of Brady just kind of like fist bump Florian Unruh in the chest. I know Brady well enough to know that that's what he was saying. Like, go kick his butt, man. You got bronze. You know, words of encouragement. And so that's what kind of reminded me of what's at stake here in terms of the world picture for Florian Unruh and, of course, for Lee Woo-shuk. But this is going to be a really good match as well. Unruh coming straight off a match. It's disappointment, but it's bronze, and he's good and warm. Left side 9 to start off with. Ooh. I think Crispin's going to call that a 10. That one's easy. That's an X. All right, so 10, 9, 9, 10. A 10 here. Oh, here we go. Ooh. 9 maybe?
They're calling it an 8.
Oh, okay.
It's behind the other arrow. I
Shadows,
can't
we
visually
couldn't see
see it, but yeah.
Oof.
That's a 10.
Okay. So 2 set points to 0. And Lee comes right out of the gate strong.
Yeah, for the in-venue scoring system, they used to have a system that actually like scanned the arrows using a scanner that came across the top and a scanner that came across the side of the actual target, and it would pinpoint the location of the arrow. But they're using another system now where it's basically 2 cameras that are focused up to the target from just behind the scoreboards, maybe 2 or 3 meters in front of the target, pointed to the target. So basically what those cameras are doing are triangulating the position of the arrow based off of its knowledge of where the center of the target is and the target size. So that's how we're getting that instant millimeter reading that Bernardo is able to tell us when we look at when we look at the shoot off arrow of like 3 millimeter difference. The 3 millimeters isn't some arbitrary number they're getting from some other place. It's from these 2 cameras that are actually giving us that accurate measurement. So those are what's going to be posted up on the live feed that we're going off of. So even though I can't see something, I'm trusting what the machine is telling me, basically.
In addition to that, I'll add there's also spotters too that are backup like eyes, and so they can override that digital system if they feel like they need to. So you have a lot of double checks, and of course the final check is when the judge goes down and actually looks at it, especially if the line call with the magnifying glass. There's a lot at stake here.
I have a question about Florian. How many Olympics has he done? And is this going to be his best result ever?
Yeah, so he was in Tokyo where he finished 5th in recurve in 2021, 9th in the mixed team. That's what's in his bio on Olympics.com.
Incredible. So, I mean, regardless, he'll be 1 place up or 2 places up from last time. But it must be really hard for the archers this time because it's only been 3 years for the cycle, not 4. I mean, if you guys have never had to experience that, it was always 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that like preparing for a shoot every 4 years? Like to me that's insane because we have world champs every 2 years or European champs every 2 years. I can't imagine having a cycle of preparation 4 years long.
Well, the Tokyo Olympics were a little bit different because that was actually a 5-year preparation if you went from Rio to Tokyo, because it didn't happen in 2020. So we kind of had a little bit more time to prepare. In terms of preparation in a 3-year span, it is a little bit shorter, but anybody who's doing this kind of on the pro level is you're looking at peaking every summer, right? And during the off season, you come back down, and then you peak up during the summer, and then you come back down. So you're generally speaking going to be just on one of your other peaks that's going to be happening. So for these guys, it's probably, situation normal. Life moves on. So I don't think the 3-year prep was too big of a detriment to a lot of these archers.
I think,
Yeah,
Lucy,
especially
where it hurt,
nowadays
there were
with-
some... Oh, go ahead, Justin.
No, I was gonna say nowadays with the World Cup series and World Cup final, they're shooting basically the same format on a stage very similar to this. During my era, the tournaments were far and few between. We maybe went to a Grand Prix or an international tournament here and there, but it was definitely, you're always waiting every 2 years for the World Championships, the Olympics, and it was definitely one of those things like, oh my gosh, this takes forever to get to one of these stages, where I feel now you get a lot more experience throughout the year shooting against these archers and this level of competition.
Florian
So in
has
this
a
bronze
28.
medal match, Unruh shoots 28. So basically, to win the bronze medal,
10,
all he has to do
win.
here is just put it in the 10 ring, and that's a big victory. So bronze And a big win in straight sets for Lee Woo-shuk. Big smile, and Korea with another podium spot in these games and a commanding performance. And look at that arrow average, 9.7.
I've
Wow.
never seen him jumping. Never seen
That
a
was the
Korean
most
jumping after winning.
Yeah, the most happiness
and
I've
by the
seen out of a
way-
Korean this tournament so far.
Lee,
Yeah.
the youngest shooter in the Final Four at 26 years old. Unruh at 31. And then, of course, our gold medalists all older than 30 years old. An indication that maybe, Justin, archery's an older person's game. I'm just saying, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're
I'm a
talking
grandpa
about
status
age
these days.
here.
Yeah, grandpa
Justin,
status.
Justin, you coming back to the next games? Is it now?
I'm
You're
gonna,
like,
I'm
you're
gonna
on it?
shoot. I would love if they just would select me and just put me on the team. I don't have to shoot the trials process. Just give it to me. Yeah.
Like a legacy team spot, and you can just get on there like one's guaranteed. Sponsored by Depends
Yeah.
Undergarments and Metamucil. Justin Hewish.
Just give me the honorary spot. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in, coach.
I'm ready. Hold my cane.
Yeah, but now if Justin's going back to the Olympics, we got to figure out what celebrity he looks like so we can start the research now and then
No,
figure that out.
the problem is, okay, the problem with that is that Brady Ellison is younger, right, than Leonardo, and Baptiste Addis is younger than Ralph Macchio. So that's the problem.
And Nespoli is younger
I
than
used to
him,
get the
man.
Karate Kid. I used to get Ralph Macchio when I was younger.
Did you? So, like, our pool, what I'm saying is that Justin has to look like somebody older than him. So where are we at? Like De Niro? No. I'm older than Justin, so all right. I just need to point that out. That's I'm only taking the piss because I'm older.
Justin's only 21.
Forever.
Ish. 21-ish.
21 plus.
Right.
Look at you. That's all you need to say.
Are you trying to do a little bit of a marketing thing for a prominent clothing brand where you are 21 forever?
Oh, well done. Yeah. Just hoping to get a $10 gift card.
Yeah.
Good comment. Korean American Gold. This match is nerve-wracking. LMFA. I don't know any of those things. LMFAO.
Half. Mine.
Long meter fight all
Wow.
around. Oh my goodness. Is that what that means? I'm not
It's
sure.
about laughing. It's laughing and lots.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Back in
But
my
this
day,
is-
we didn't
this
have
is gonna
computers.
Laughing.
Laughing. I don't know, guys. We have the last match of the archery competition coming up. This is going to be huge, and it's like two of the giants in our sport. Sorry, talking business again, but this is going to be huge. This is going to be amazing, with the French crowd behind Brady, presumably, and the Korean cheerleading squad that's up in the stands as well, right? So.
Yeah. No, honestly, I really would like to hear from all of you. Honestly, thinking right now, I can't think of a better, like a bigger match than this. Kim Woo-jin, Brady Ellison for Olympic gold. Can you think of a bigger match in the past 2 decades?
I mean, this is what we all hope to have seen. You know, so often in sports we get robbed of the two titans going against each other in a finals. You know, like in the NBA here in the States, we never got to see Kobe Bryant go against LeBron James, and you know, it's one of those things. This is it. You know, because their legacy is going to be cemented one way or another. And when there's debates or arguments on who's the greatest Olympic archer of all time, this match will be one of the pivotal points that they're going to use in that argument.
And who are you guys all rooting for again?
Go USA!
Really?
Honestly, for me, I don't
ask
care.
that.
I don't care. I'm already happy just by watching this match. To me, it doesn't matter who wins.
Well, actually, I'll put the question out, Bernardo. What do you think the arrow averages are
Okay.
going to be based off of what we've already seen between these two archers against each other? Your best estimate.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be at least 9.5. Which
Do you think
is,
we'll see a 9.8 arrow average? I don't think we have seen a 9.8 arrow. Actually, wait, no. I think Kim's first, the 119 out of 120.
Yeah, in the morning, in the round of 16, both Kim Woo-jin and Liu Sok shot 9.92. So
9.92
119
arrow
out of
average.
120. Yeah. But I because the flags, and we talked about it the other day, right? It seems that the flags on top of the target, they're like so heavy and they never move. But the wind is definitely a factor now later in the day, so maybe that's gonna bring scores a little bit lower. But we remain to see. Really, this is I believe this is gonna be nip and tuck until the very end. And imagine if this goes down to shoot off.
Oh.
And the question is, which Kim Woo-jin are we going to get? Are we going to get the one that we just had, or are we going to get the one at the beginning of our coverage? Like that's going to be I think a big question. But both these athletes at some point in their career have been number one in the world as well. And it's an incredible match. Now we are getting word from the internet that some people, Justin, think that you look like Matt Dillon. So maybe we're going to go with that, but that's yet to be determined. If you want to check your WhatsApp group team, you can see what we're talking about. But to archery, this is so big. Of course, Korea dominating gold medals. This would be, I guess, for a lot of people, an underdog story. For Brady Ellison, the United States, to get a gold medal and to go back home, it would be huge. But first arrow flies in the gold medal match, and it's a 9 from Kim Woo-jin. For Brady Ellison, he's been starting really strong most of the day today. And he starts off with a 9.
Can I just say, I'm not ready to see archery finish at the Olympics, and this is our last match for the 2024 Olympics. Like, I can't wait 4 years for the next ones. This is...
Oh.
Okay, so 8.
I can't wait 4 years after this.
Woohoo, and an X.
Brady's up.
Everybody out there on YouTube land, just keep an eye on the smile on Justin Hewish's face throughout this match. Ooh, left side 10. That'll definitely play. Gold here, 2 sets to 0 and a 10. All right, so Brady Ellison on the gas, comes out of the gate with a 29 to 27 and goes up 2 set points to 0. This match is an every arrow nail biter, no question.
Absolutely. There was something, I just thought of something that I guess it's the ultimate stat about this match, really, which is these are the only 2 archers ever to shoot 700. So Kim Woo-jin broke the world record in Rio 2016 shooting 700, and then 3 years later, Brady Ellison broke the record, which still stands today, 702. So really, this is the ultimate stat, the ultimate thing we have to say about this match.
Incredible. And of course, we know Brady Ellison's performance as an indoor archer, because when we get to those Northern Hemisphere winter months, we switch to 18 meters indoor, and Brady Ellison shooting at one of the largest tournaments in the world, or the largest tournament in the world in Vegas, with a recurve bow, shooting a perfect 900 score one year. Incredible.
Totally.
Can you imagine being a judge for this match as well? Like,
the only reason, hold on, I'm going to make a
your
comment on
judging
this
career.
comment. The reason that we would call Brady Ellison an underdog is just because he hasn't been in this situation before, and Kim Woo-jin has. Again, the individual match for Brady, the best medal that he's had in his pocket is bronze. He's already guaranteed himself the best results at 35 years old in his 5th Olympics. So to say that he's an underdog is kind of like a half of a percentage deal. But both of these archers coming into this isn't anything is possible match if there ever was one. Oh,
But
because
also
of things like that.
Yeah, like Brady as underdog also because last year and this year he hasn't been doing particularly well, right, for his standards, really. So he's been kind of on a yeah, kind of on a low, really, for the past 2 years. So to see him here now shooting for gold is amazing.
Well, you know what's interesting, Bernardo, is that what people don't remember is Kim Woo-jin now delivers a 10. So for Brady, not enough points. We're going to go 2-2. Is if you remember back to when Brady started to have a bit of a slip in performance, it was, and Brady drops at 7 low. But it was after there was a theft. Someone stole all of his bows. And he was having to rebuild his entire, he was having to build basically everything from ground zero. And he found it really interesting how he just had his favorite bows that shot great. And it took him such a long time to reset everything. I mean, I'm talking a year before he really found something that he could feel and replicate. He also, as I remember speaking with him about it, took it as an opportunity to try different things that he normally wouldn't have tried, you know, in terms of like limb length and riser length and those types of things. So it's been not just a story of performance or injury for Brady. It's been another story of really theft.
But, yeah, that was awful. And also the changes in his personal life. Like now he's a father of 2. I think that maybe makes you just see life differently, you know. Maybe before it was all about performing, competing, and winning, and now it's like, of course, this is all very important, but I believe now it's kind of like, you know, those 2 pretty young boys. It's like, man, they mean the world to him. So yeah, a lot going on. A lot has changed, but still competition wide open here.
Yeah, where's the tie cam when we need it? They need to get that camera on Ty Ellison. I don't know why they don't have it.
Sorry, my question is Kim Woo-jin a dad as well?
He is. He has a baby son. Son or girl? I just know he's a father of a baby, yeah.
And that must be so hard because obviously it's like late nights and starts, baby waking you up, trying to practice for the Olympics. For both of them.
So 9-10, the first arrow from each archer. Kim Woo-jin with a high right 9, 8-liner. Coming off of an uncharacteristic 24 from Brady Ellison in the last scoring set. Now goes 2 X's. So right back on track for the American. The Korean needing a 10 to give himself an opportunity to at least stay in this set. And it's going to be a 9. So for Brady Ellison, 8 or better, and he's going to go up 4 set points to 2. He's already shot a 7, though. This is not a slam dunk, but a 9 in the gold.
How are you guys feeling? Our American friends here. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty nervous here. I can't. If they had a heart rate monitor on me right now, jeez.
It's like as if you were there shooting, right?
Yeah, I mean, Brady's got 3 arrows, literally. If he could put 3 10s down there.
And he'll be the first American to win archery gold since... When, Justin?
Some dude.
28 years.
No, yeah. There's always 2 sides to the rooting deal, right? And that's a fan going like, no. Right now, Brady Ellison has the 3 most important arrows of his entire career. 5 Olympics, individual bronze. He's guaranteed himself his best finish of the games, and he potentially could be 3 10s away from a win or go up 5 sets to 3, a loss, and we're at 4-4 apiece. And
So
now
in this
three
match, they've only
10.
had 3 10s versus 4 10s. Like, what's happened
Yeah.
to them?
Okay, so a 9 low. So that blows that storyline. A 10 for Kim Woo-jin. You got a feeling Brady's got to match it. Nope. 8.
Follow through was
8-9
just like
liner?
in the other time.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going 4 sets apiece for the gold medal in our last archery competition of these Paris Games 2024. And a good shot by Brady Ellison to get right back to the middle, but not enough points on the board to get it done. So 29-27 for that set. Okay, situation is pretty straightforward. If these two archers tie in the next end, we're going to go 5-5, and then we're going to go to a shoot-off for a gold medal. Justin doesn't want it. I don't want it as an American, but I want it as a commentator. That is for sure. Or an outright win by either one, and they have Olympic gold.
Man, 3 arrows,
breath.
potentially 4 to decide who takes gold and really who keeps on building their legacy. Huge legacy by both of them, and now only a handful of arrows just to decide which of them is better, at least for now. This is insane.
Yep, and you said it. 3 or 4 arrows remain for each archer in these 2024 games.
Brady's
I think in
just
the
like
future they'll
chomping
be
at the
like,
bit right
where
now.
were you? Where were you watching those Olympics? Where were you watching those finals?
I was in the World Archery Watch Party. Yeah, baby.
There you go.
I'm
All right.
actually on my couch.
35-year-old Brady Ellison from the United States against 32-year-old Kim Woo-jin from Korea for gold medal in Paris. And the first arrow gets sent from the Korean, and he nails it in the X-ring 10. Brady Ellison, one of the higher heart rates that we've seen from him in this competition, and he equals it with an X. And in this corner, sitting at 6 feet 1 inches tall, Kim Woo-jin.
Long
That is a
hold.
long hold.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Come on,
Duking
Brady.
it out.
Brady
Got
with
it.
a 10.
Man,
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
this is a
1 or
shoot-off.
2 arrows.
Yeah.
God.
One
Yeah.
or
Oh,
2
we're
arrows.
going
shoot
That's
off.
it.
No, this is the
With the
first arrow to
exhale.
shoot off, basically.
Yeah,
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 good point.
the first shoot-off.
10.
Got the 10.
Oh,
Man,
Oh boy.
man.
Can
I mean,
Brady do
Brady
it
Ellison,
for a
to keep
shoot-off?
his gold medal possibilities alive, has got to shoot a 10 here. His biggest arrow of his life. And he
10.
gets it. Oh,
Oh,
my
Goodness me!
Oh,
Jesus! Goodness me!
You got to be
They
bleeping
found
me.
the 10.
Whoa! Come on, come on. This is not Rio. This is not Rio, man.
Wow.
Oh.
30
Who's the
points
best?
apiece for gold. Come on. Bernardo
Man.
Oliveira, please tell us now, what are we going to do to determine who gets to stand on the top of the podium with gold around their neck?
We said this was the first shoot-off, but the second one, and actually we were just kidding, now this is the Rio shoot-off. Now, even if they tie for the same score, closest to the center wins. Just the pure distance from the arrow to the center of the target, we're gonna get fresh target faces to make sure that nothing can keep us from deciding who is the winner, even if it comes down to a matter of 1 millimeter. We've seen a match be decided by only 3 millimeters, 70 meters away. It's mind-blowing precision. And this is what it's going to take. After 15 arrows, there was nothing in between them. So now we're going to go down to the wire to decide who is Olympic champion in Paris. Wow.
Korea
Rock,
versus
paper,
the
scissors
United
situation.
States. Kim Woo-jin versus Brady Ellison in what has to be one of the best archery matches of our time, without question. Two of the biggest names in the sport of archery, heavy hitters, performers, clutch performers, world championships between them, World Archery World Cup wins, medalists in Olympics. Now, Brady Ellison already sitting on the best finish he's had of his 5-time appearance in the games. We're going for it. Closest to the center wins.
Woo! Come on.
We need that heart rate.
Kim Woo-jin kicks us off. He's going to set it. It's the benchmark arrow for the Korean. He sends it, and it's a 10-9 liner. There is room to work with.
10.1.
Here we go. Biggest shot of his life. Oh, no!
Oh, I think Kim gets it.
I think
Kim
Kim is
Woo-jin
going to
gets
be
it.
closer.
I think
My
Kim gets it.
Oh, Brady Ellison.
So that's a
By
10.0 versus a 10.1.
5
5 millimeters.
Oh my.
5 millimeters away from
No,
gold.
less.
But
Less
nonetheless,
than 5. Or no.
Yeah, 4 point
I
something.
think it was 5.1 or something. 5.1 millimeters. Incredible.
Oh, man. It's 2 gold medals. Can each of them get a gold medal and no silver?
Yeah. Still,
Man.
Kim Woo-jin, the GOAT. What an incredible performance. Boy, anything possible. Brady Ellison that close. Saying to Crispin Duenas, and he wants to do 10 of these things. He's at 5. Will he be back in 4 years for Brady Ellison? You can probably bet on that. But the opportunity to win gold and Kim Woo-jin.
Lucy, are you
I'm
okay?
literally crying because of how cute that was that Kim Woo-jin held up Brady's hand. That was so cute. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So I think we would have expected this to have the clash. Like literally, I think one of the comments said the clash of the Titans, and they put on such a show for everybody. I mean, like everybody's still into this. It's the last event and everybody's sticking around. What a way to end off the 2024 Olympics.
Wow,
Man.
Brady Ellison coming in here. Didn't have his best qualifying performance. Bernardo, you mentioned it. There's been struggles at time for Brady Ellison. Hasn't been the dominating force in the United States. Still your top qualifier for the team, and that's why he's here, with the U.S. only earning 1 slot. No men's team for the United States. So for Brady Ellison, he comes away with these games with a mixed team bronze and a silver in the individual. And for this guy right here, Kim Woo-jin, 3 gold medals. Unbelievable. Every opportunity he had, he closed it out, whether it was team, mixed team, or individual. What an absolute legend.
Why do they call him Bear?
Absolutely.
What?
Why do they call Kim Woo-jin Bear? Does anyone know? His name's called
He's a
Bear
bit of a
online.
beefy dude.
Because of his
His-
body
on
type,
his
I
quiver
pretty
as well,
much.
it
And
says
it's terrible
bear.
to say, but they've always gone off because he's kind of like, you know,
Big dude.
he looks like a bear. That's why they called him
Yeah.
that.
The beefcake.
Cuddly Bear, and now Olympic champion.
Look
Well,
at the
I'm
rest
glad
of his
that's the
team.
reason. It's not he's getting
Yeah.
into your trash and disturbing it at nighttime.
No. Boy, that is the most Canadian thing that you could literally say.
That's what bears do up here.
Dude,
Grizzly.
Tell me where you're from without telling me where you're from.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. the Canadian national bird is a bear. I believe that's what it is. Yeah.
That starts with B, huh?
Yeah.
That's so funny. What a match. What an opportunity to be a part of this. It's just been absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. All right, Justin, let's start with your thoughts about what we just saw as we start to calm down from one of the most incredible archery gold medal matches that we have seen. What are your thoughts?
It's really too bad Brady didn't pull it off. I mean, I'm just heartbroken for him. Once again, he was just so close. But this was definitely the match that we all hoped for. It was nice to see it come down to this very end and both shoot 10s and a shoot off. It's better than a blowout. It's just, I still am processing it myself. You know, Kim Woo-jin puts himself in rarefied air, you know, one of only 13 men to do what he's done here. So now it's hashtag 13 for him going forward. And, you know, Brady will be back. You know, he wants to go to 10 Olympics. I think it's not over. You know, he has plenty of quote unquote time to get that gold medal, but today is Kim Woo-jin's day.
Well, I know that, Justin, we look forward to you being on the team with him in the next Olympics in the United States in Los Angeles. We want to wish you good luck on your quest getting there. We all know on this panel that you can get it done, man. You can get it done. All you got to do is quit your job and find $1 million sponsor, and you know, hire a physio. And other than that, you're a slam dunk, bro. You're a slam dunk.
Yeah. Got to get more than 100 arrows in a day. I got to get that arrow count up to about 400 if I want to give myself a chance.
Yeah, no doubt. Lucy, what are your thoughts on what you just witnessed?
As they say, clash of the titans. That was the most exciting thing. And they should have just gone to a shoot-off. They should have just been like, you know what, guys, let's just do a shoot-off, 1 arrow. But honestly, just incredible. So many parts there where you thought one of them would win and then the other, and yeah. Oh, just amazing. Amazing to watch. I'm so excited about to see it.
Kayla, thank you so much for the comment. Also, you guys are goats. Talking about you four. What a great watch party. Thanks for the past few days. Enjoyed watching. We really appreciate it. Well, Crispin, you've been involved in these games 4 times. This one just seemed like it was next level, and what a match we had.
Yeah, it was such high level shooting. I almost feel like the tiebreak should have been like Brady should shoot Kim's bow, Kim should shoot Brady's bow, and let's just make it like way more interesting for everybody else, because that's basically where it had to be going at that point. Like, it was so exciting. We had so many people commenting and so many people watching. We have Lucy in tears. We have Brady probably like so excited. What a way to end off the Olympics. It's like, you couldn't ask for more. Honestly, these guys train full time. They put their heart and soul into it. They deserve it. Simple as that.
Yeah. And I think that we got the match we wanted, but also we saw the emergence of some younger stars too. You know, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on some of these young athletes that made their way pretty far into the tournament. Baptiste Addis is definitely one of them to keep an eye on. You know, Gazoz is another one that obviously already with success, and see how he rebounds. Plus, on the women's side, there's been some amazing shooting. So, tip of the cap to Korea. Bernardo Oliveira, your opinion on everything that we've seen, and you've been with us for the entire time as well. How was it?
Man, it's been a pleasure all these days. We watched so many remarkable matches, but it just feels that it's almost kind of a disrespect just to forget about them all. But I just have to say, these Olympics, they saved the games. They saved the best for last. This last match, I think, is like absolutely the best that our sport can display. I think that really for 20, 30 years, we can't think of a more important, more high stakes, you know, bigger names involved in such a big title. And I think this is going to be a match to remember. Maybe in 40 years, I'm going to be kind of, you know, one of the grumpy old people that looks back and says, like, archery was good back in my day. You didn't see Kim Woo-jin and Brady Ellison shooting for gold in Paris. The young generation for sure will do their best to make their own names and everything. But I'm sure this is going to be a match to remember for decades. And somebody commented what I said as well. It feels like I feel like we should give 2 gold medals. It feels like it's unfair to give Brady silver. Would be unfair to give Kim Woo-jin silver. But man, what a match! It was amazing. And what else can I say?
Hey, when archery in these games are decided by a couple of millimeters, it's incredible. Let's bring in the 2000 Sydney gold medal winner in archery, Simon Fairweather. Wow. I mean, what else can we say, man? What a match that was. What a day of shooting. What do you think?
Truly epic, wasn't it? The 2 big who have not pre-crowned Olympic head narrow shoot off. Has that ever happened before? Not to my recollection. Amazing.
And what do you think?
You should have felt the pressure. It was intense.
It is. We've been making the comment that it's a shame that someone has to get a silver, right? They both deserve gold in that one. You're talking about a 5 millimeter difference. But how was the energy level in that stadium? Did the crowd understand the magnitude of what they were seeing?
Yeah, I think they did. And it wasn't the only high pressure match too today. Like it's been building all morning, and so it finished with such a display of nerves and one shooting, and also the odd shot that got away. It was spectacular. You couldn't ask for a better finish for an Olympic final, and what a great moment for our sport.
And you've been there the entire time. I'm just curious as to your opinion on how Paris did for archery. It looked like that everything went well. The weather was really good across the board, but just the overall atmosphere and feel about archery in these Olympics.
Yeah, I think it was probably a spectacular success in terms of on grounds. I mean, there was the normal of things that didn't go quite as planned for some people, transport and stuff like that, but that's pretty irrelevant when it comes down to a finals like that. Great for the crowd. The volunteers were great. You could get around the stadium well. A fabulous stadium. Weather was a bit hot early on. I mean, it made it pretty hard to sit out in the sun all day. Even today, with a mid-20s day, it got warm, but perfect for a finals. Not much. It allowed us to show our sport off to its finest.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on all the great broadcasting that you were doing from there, and the fact that you were there on site to witness one of the greatest gold medal matches in archery of all time. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Had a great time. Cheers, guys.
All right, cheers. Well, that was Simon Fairweather, 2000 Olympic gold medalist in archery. Well, panel, that's going to do it. Unfortunately, we're breaking hearts because we're done. We're going to get off the air. Thank you so much for joining us, for checking out our watch party. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. And, you'll be able to catch us later on in the year. So make sure you check out World Archery's website for more information. And, of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel and keep it locked. For Justin and for Crispin and for Bernardo and for Lucy, I'm Greg. We cannot wait to see archery again with you real soon. Hope you enjoyed that coverage and the Olympics. We'll see you again. Bye.